Hey, fishy people. I wanted to do a quick spotlight on my 180. This is 180 gallons. It is a bent glass tank. Kind of hard to find nowadays, I believe, but really cool tank I got for a bargain used. More recently set up, as soon as I moved, I set it up. You've seen it in some of my other videos. I just want to go over this because I like how simple this is. This is not the most beautifully aquascape tank. It's not super crazy. I could have gone, a little more overboard with that stuff, and maybe I will if I ever redo this. But when it comes to ease of maintenance and the amount of fish I have in here, I want to go over a few things because it's just phenomenally easy. I have about 500 pounds of substrate in here, and that helps me for a huge multitude of reasons aside from just giving it aesthetic appeal. And a big tank, it kind of requires a lot of substrate. I've got, I believe, 150 pounds of soil, Happy Frog organic. You can see that there's layering down there. That's a soil it's very dense. Soil, technically speaking, sand, silt, and clay. Most of the soils out there, like Miracle Grow Organic, which everyone says is amazing, is mostly peat moss and other light, fluffy crud that I'm not a huge fan of. Not very natural, in my opinion. So I like Happy Frog. You do have to float the perlite off. The sand is just cheapo Home Depot sand, $3 for a 50-pound bag. So very, very affordable, and that's important with a tank this size, in my opinion. If I went with, fluvial stratum or ADA, and, wanted to, even here in the front, you're looking at, 3-4 inches of substrate. So in the back, that's even more. It would have cost me a fortune, an absolute fortune. Planting-wise, it's pretty simple right now. I've got Vallisneria, I've got dwarf sads at the bottom, I've got some cryptocorns, a few different types, and some big swords in the back. Lighting-wise, again, pretty simple and old school. This is a twin 175 watt metal halide, so two 175 watt metal halide bulbs. And, they're proven, they grow well, they are hot, they use a lot of energy. I don't necessarily recommend them, but I had that on hand. And it covered the tank well. That's a 4-foot fixture over a 5-foot tank, so, it does a good job. Filtration-wise, I'm extremely under-filtered. I've got a Aquatop CF500. It's technically rated up to 175. Never believe those ratings. Typically, I'd say that's rated up to like 100 gallons. That being said, it's obviously working for this tank, but this tank is different than most people's. So, aside from the plant-absorbing nitrate, which is good, and ammonia, due to how much soil I have in there, and because the soil is active and live and has a lot of good bacteria, it is not only breaking down the ammonia to the nitrate, but it's also breaking down nitrate itself. So the plants are absorbing nitrate, which is the end product that you need to get rid of. But in addition, the soil is breaking that down. Plants absorb it, soil breaks it down. And that's because of just the massive amount of anaerobic bacteria I have in there, because I have a deep sand bed, or a deep substrate layer, and I don't fuss with it. I don't gravel vacuum. I put these plants in here, I don't want to. I don't want to disturb it. Maintenance on this is extremely low. I barely ever do water changes because my nitrates stay at 0, my phosphates stay at 0. I top off with a mineral-rich water, so it's not an issue. Real quick, occupancy, I've got, they're not out a whole lot right now in the morning, but I've got about 40 coolie loaches down here. They hide under the rocks at night, come out right after feeding. But they're the ones keeping my sand bed clean. They eat all the excess food that drops down. I've got a single electric blue ram. We'll be adding more. Obviously, my large angels. When it comes to small fish, I've probably got, a good possibly over 200 fish in here. Silver tip tetras, I think I've got about 30 of those guys. I've got a school of rummy nodes that like to stay towards the bottom, probably 15 of those. The roseline torpedo barbs, or Denison's barbs, I've got about 15 of those. I've got 35 dwarf neon praycocks. probably a half dozen Bosemani babies, 7 Congo tetras, a bunch of Siamese algae eaters. What am I missing? A couple cardinals. I do have a couple panda cories in here. I've got a bunch of fish, and I am actually planning on putting more. I'm putting some more discus in there, but then I do sell out of this tank, so I'll be, selling some of these also. This will be getting thinned down. The red line torpedo barbs get big. I'll be taking some of those out later on. But, my fish are happy. They like me. Here, look. Let's see if I can get them to do some tricks. This way, guys. Now this way. This way. Yeah. Now, can we change all direction? This way. I'll go over how to train your tetras later, because I can actually get them to do some tricks sometimes. But I wanted to do a quick spotlight on that. I'm a big fan of this tank. It's, again, very simple. I could have gone, crazy dragonstone and more wood and stuff, and maybe I should have, but when it comes to maintenance and longevity and how it's set up and the health of the fish, super easy, simple way to do this. And I've gone over in early videos how I do my dirt bottom tanks, but I recommend them if you're not one of those people that's constantly fussing with the tank. If you're constantly pulling plant in and out, bad idea. You'll have a dirty tank all the time. Anyways, I'm running out of time, so hope your tank's doing well. Bye, guys.